So you have been asking people for comments lately.
Yeah.
Maybe you shouldn't do that anymore because somebody hurt my feelings.
Surprise. There's mean people out there?
Yeah, there's lots of them. I don't mind mixing it up with most of them, but this guy was just like, "Shut the f up, you fat nerd." And I wrote a whole big long response, and it was really witty and really funny to the point where like made myself LOL as the kids say. But then I didn't send it
They
because
don't say that anymore.
I'm all right, whatever. But then I ended up deleting it because I'm like, I'm just not even going to engage with this one. Um, but yeah, I've engaged with a few idiots. I think the biggest problem is people don't listen to the episodes; they just listen to the clips, and yeah, so they get half the story. Like, you need to do your research. I'm like, you need to listen to the whole podcast, dummy. And yeah, it's a weird world, um, but I don't mind. I like the good comments. Some people are very respectful; they know how to comment, and other people are just trying to get a rise out of you. And I'm more than happy to kick it back and forth with them a little bit. If for no other reason than it counts as engagement. So you lose, buddy, not me. So in any case, we had Linnea's graduation party here on Saturday, and this may come as a surprise to nobody listening when we talk about our drinking. But I built a bar for the outside. we
The
we
day
have an old one.
before.
Yeah, the day before we have an old like a portable one that we bought that was supposed to be temporary when we bought the house, and that was 6 years ago. So I'm like, I better just you know bite the bullet and do this. So I did, and it came out really good. But at the last minute, I had like two extra 2x4s laying around. I'm like, oh man, if I had two more, I could build a roof, like a sunroof for it. So I ran to the hardware store and I got them, even though I didn't have to run to the hardware store, except the fact that I needed it right then. Um, I did
Because it's the
need
day before,
right,
or is it the day
right.
of?
This is the day before,
Okay.
and so I'm thinking now I need like a sun roof, like a screen, like a tarp of some kind that's built for that. And I'm not really looking for something to keep out the rain. I don't really care too much about that right now. I just wanted something to block the sun so the bar was in the shade. Um, so I found one and I bought it because I needed it. And all I had to do was pick up my phone. This is 5:30 at night. I picked up my phone, hit Amazon, punched in sun sale or I forget what they're called. I think a sun sale for roof for bar, and there it was. And I could customize my size, and it showed up at my house at 6:30 the next morning,
That's great.
which is crazy to me. I didn't have
That's
to get the
crazy.
car. I didn't. Best part of it, I didn't have to talk to anybody, which me is my favorite part of the day. Is those parts of the day where I don't have to speak to anybody. No offense, but including you. Uh, I didn't even have to put pants on. I I did it with no pants on. I probably had like shorts on or something, but
Yeah, and I got there so early, I was like, "Who's coming to the door?"
yeah,
Because I didn't know you did this,
yeah.
and, you're like, "Oh, it's the Amazon package at 6:30 in the morning."
That's when they come.
Yeah.
Excuse me. We're starting that again. The yawns. Um, it was pretty wild. I mean, you talked about like all day. Everybody, when did you build that? Between yesterday and this morning? Yeah, and you ordered something like 5:30 last night, and it came at 6:30 this morning. Like
It's
that was your big part.
amazing
You're like all
because
day.
there's not an Amazon store right down the street.
No,
So where did
no.
it come
Which
from?
we'll keep that keep that in your pocket for later in the episode. But
And it
yeah,
was the size you
that's
wanted, the color
crazy.
you wanted, like, where's the Amazon shelves that somebody picked off through a car and drove here?
Yeah, yeah. Like we've talked about before. I can't get from my kitchen to my car in under
Right.
7 minutes in the morning, and they got
And it got here under 12 hours.
uh, which is supposed to be progress, I think. Because when we were younger, and you had to buy, if I needed that even 10 years ago, it would have required considerably more effort,
Oh, yeah.
and I wouldn't have gotten it because nobody carries that.
Right.
I would have actually had to go somewhere. I would have had to find a place that may or may not carry it. I did look when I went to Home Depot to pick up the extra wood. I did look to see if they had one, and they didn't. But quick side story. You make fun of my Goodwill. I went to Goodwill the next day, that Sunday, and guess what they had in the sports in where they keep their sports stuff?
A
They
shade.
had a freaking sun sale.
Did you
It
get
was
it?
no, it wouldn't fit. It was triangular. It wouldn't have fit in
There you
my
go.
spot. But what are the chances
Right.
that they even had one at all? So in any case, so we grew up. We were teenagers in the '80s. That's when we grew up. Um, and I can't imagine a time where you need a sun shield for a bar, but we had to. I mean, if I had to buy one, we would have had to physically go somewhere.
Right.
Where I would have gone. I mean, I could have gone to maybe a job lot or a hardware store but again, I would have been SOL. But in any case, the fact that I actually had to go somewhere uh, in the '80s to do anything is, I don't know if I miss that. I think I do. I miss those experiences. Um, because chances are, if you were going somewhere and you needed different things or something kind of out of the ordinary, you'd end up at the mall or a
Right.
mall of some kind. And sometimes you weren't even necessarily going because you needed anything. You were just kind of
It was a
going.
place to go,
Yeah.
so you didn't get bored. If you're bored, let's go to the mall.
Yeah. Let's go to the mall.
And there
And
was a number to choose from.
yeah. Yeah. It wasn't like there was one and we were like, well, I
We were
guess we're going to
just
that one.
there. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We had like 3 or 4 in our row. We had Milford, Meriden, Crystal Mall. And I mean, if you wanted a little bit more of a drive, you got Danbury.
Right.
So
Enfield. They're all over.
Enfield. Yeah. Yeah. Trumbull.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, we didn't always go shopping just because we needed something. It was just, going shopping was the thing that you were doing. You're just,
Right.
I mean, what are you doing today? I'm just going to go shopping. But, as we got older and wiser, or not us in particular, but the people around us got older and wiser, we decided that actually getting up and going places and interacting with other people was inefficient. And so we fixed it.
Right.
And at this point, as you look around at the state of, I guess, shopping and malls in particular, uh, starting to wonder if maybe we fixed it a little too well because now they're all gone. And this is the Forward Project.
Hey.
Hey, here's our daily tink. I think we're drinking almost the same today. We got Purple Drank.
A purple
This is, I
drink.
forget what it's called.
Lavender lemon drop.
Okay. I don't think we needed to tell people what it was called because now I'm probably not going to drink it in front of anybody.
Well, ours is a
Uh,
little different.
little different. You make yours with
Tequila.
tequila. I make mine with rum. Yeah, it's a personal choice.
And it's pretty.
Who cares? It's delicious.
Tink.
Cheers. So today we're talking about the kind of the death of the mall, and I guess maybe of active shopping in general. Because you know, if you're younger than us and you've only, I guess, experienced or had the mall experience within the last 10 or I guess maybe even 15 years. When was the iPhone? 2010,
2007.
2007. Yeah, so I mean, almost 20 years. So we'll call it 10 to 15 before things got a little more active. Um, you didn't just go to the mall to go shopping. I mean, it was almost like a little city that you would go to.
Yeah.
Um, that had like its own energy to it. It wasn't the same as I don't know, as going into a regular store, into like a department store. There's it's almost like if you think about walking through you see in the movies these countries where they have like little bodegas on the side and walk through that kind of they call them bazaars. And there's stores everywhere, but there's an experience happening around it. And that's kind of
Like
the
in
way
like in Mercado?
we don't discuss Mercado anymore. That's a sore subject. That's a story for another podcast. A sad story. Uh, so you did just take me off my train of thought, though. Thanks. Um, it
We're
was
talking
a
about
place
the
to be.
experience,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was a place to be. I mean, especially when they're on a weekend, like a Friday or Saturday night, um, or even a Saturday during the day, and to some extent a little bit on Sundays too. But you open up the doors and there are people everywhere. There's music coming out of the stores, and it's kind of like when you're in New Orleans or what was the place in Disney that we went to? Uh,
Mercado?
no, bringing up painful memories. No, where you walk down, they had music everywhere. Like there's music coming out of the stores, and by the time they have it timed so that by the time you get past one store, that music's almost fading out, and the other music's picking up. They never overlap.
Yeah,
Uh, it's just spaced perfectly. Uh, you know, fountains, benches, massage chairs, kids hanging out, and they weren't being punks back then. You had parents shopping. Everybody was carrying big bags with the string handles.
yeah.
Uh, they had food courts. Some of them had movie theaters. I mean, these
Arcades.
arcades. I mean, these were kind of like self-standing cities where you could
Right,
literally go there and spend the day and almost not spend that much money because you didn't have to shop.
right.
You know,
Yeah, 'cause
and
you'd have to hang out in bookstores.
all right, that I like bookstores. Sorry, that's me. I guess the fat nerd comment wasn't that far off. Sorry, pal. I'll undelete you. But there was something for everybody. Everybody had their own stores. I mean, there were record stores, bookstores, as you just threw at me, clothing stores, shoe stores,
Spencer Gifts.
Spencer Gifts, yeah, yeah, electronic stores, like 15 jewelry stores in each one. Um, we said the arcade, movie theater, food court, uh, all different kinds of food. I remember one place that was really cool, and it sounds stupid now, but I would love to have one of these somewhere where it was basically salad, and they would put all this stuff in a bowl, and they'd take one of those choppers, and they'd chop up the salad for you,
Yeah,
and then put it into a smaller bowl. They did it in that big wooden bowl, and they chop it, and then they put it in like a smaller bowl. I'm like, why are they dirtying two bowls? Just give me the wooden bowl.
right.
But they wouldn't do that, so whatever. But you know, whatever, whatever you needed. I mean, if you had that weird store that sold the as seen on TV. Then
Yeah.
there's the other one that sold things only like imported from China or wherever. It was like almost like the first dollar store,
Yep,
but it
and
was
then
just
they
like cheap
had,
crap.
like, what do you call them? What is it called? The anchor stores. You'd have, like, a
Yep,
Stop and Shop on one side and maybe a Macy's on the other side, but, like, there was always a store so you could
yep,
get really literally everything.
yep. Which is kind of weird because you can get almost anything that's in the rest of the mall in one of those anchor stores.
That's right.
You never really needed the rest of the mall.
Right.
But I mean, you could spend half the day there and not buy anything and just people watch, window shop, which is probably the biggest casualty of online shopping is that window shopping because there's much less places to do it. But I don't know.
And even with that, I often got my clothes based on, like, what was hanging in the doors or in the windows.
Yep.
What do you do now? There's nothing,
Yeah.
there's no displays for me to buy copy.
Yeah. Unless you're buying junior size clothes.
Eh,
They still have a couple for the younger crowd, like the what Aeropostales,
yeah,
stuff like
but
that.
you had to go there. I'm saying now,
Yeah.
there's not too many around us to go there.
No.
Yeah,
No, and it's not the same when you're looking at it online.
right.
So it's a little bit easier to picture it when it's just like a flesh colored mannequin wearing it instead of like some actual person who doesn't look like an actual person.
Right. It was also before Walmart. Like, Walmart kinda
Yeah.
killed it too,
Yeah. Yeah.
because they started carrying everything, so
Yep. Yeah, that was what just down south, I think, at the time, or
yeah,
south or west or
yeah,
wherever.
South.
Wasn't around us until 20 years ago. Probably a little more than that, but whatever.
Yeah.
But when we were teenagers, the mall was. I mean, that was your social media almost.
Yeah, that's what
You
we
know,
did.
that's yeah, that's where you kind of you got your gossip, or you went to hang out with people, and that was your chat room.
Yeah.
You know, uh, I guess the hardest part of that now is the fact that you had to physically show up. Now you know, you can sit home and do it. And when you're in person, I mean, people could see what you actually look like. So you actually had to get yourself up and get yourself ready and get yourself, looking like you belonged out in public. There were no filters. You didn't carefully select your profile picture other than, uh, making sure you look good for the day. Make sure you
Right.
had on a presentable outfit, uh, that looked cool because you had to look cool. Yeah, and your pictures back then were, Polaroids or 110s or disc photos,
But you didn't bring it with you.
and there were no do-overs. People brought cameras with them. I mean, not
Not
your
that
Polaroid, but when you got into the disc camera, you could stick them in your pocket.
you brought them, but people were not standing trying to do selfies and stuff at the
No,
stores,
no, no, no. Now it's
you know?
ridiculous.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, once you stepped out for the day in whatever outfit you're wearing, you had to own it because that's what you're in for the day. There was no, hold on, let me go swap out clothes for the next picture
Well, you could buy.
for my next online meet and greet. Yeah, unless of course you bought something and changed in the bathroom or something. But yeah,
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 different times.
yeah, yeah. God forbid you ran into somebody you didn't like because everybody's hanging out at the mall. You're bound to see someone you knew,
Oh, yeah.
good or bad. Um, yeah, it's a different world.
Yeah, you had to fight parking,
Yeah, yeah,
drive there, find your spot.
yeah. And if you had friends, you had to find your friends because you couldn't call them on your cell phone, being like, "Hey, which side of the mall are you at?"
Right.
You had to plan that right from the start. Hey, I'll meet you down at the food court. All right, which end or which in front of the Sbarro or in front of that choppy salad place?
Not even just friends, if we got separated,
Yeah,
if we're together, I'm gonna go over to the record store. Okay, I'm gonna go check shoes or whatever. Then you're like, oh, they're not there. They left. Now we
yeah,
got to figure out where each other went.
yeah,
And
yeah. It's
but
it's
it
not like now
was
where you can call on the phone and be like, "Hey, where are you? I'm at the Macy's entrance. Oh, there's 7 of those.
right. Are you on the top floor or the bottom floor?
Yeah, front, back.
But
Yeah,
it was fun. It gave you a place to go and hang out. And like you said, you could go for the day and then lead into the night and go to the movie theaters because there's always either one attached
yeah,
or
or
one
right
right down
nearby.
the road or one right nearby. So it gave you something to do.
I guess let's take a brief segue because it goes a little bit even beyond malls. I mean, this is shopping as a whole is way different. Um, right now, so we shop online, but when you shop online, you pretty much know what you want and you go in looking for it. It's called a search bar for a reason, and you're putting in what you want to buy. But
Right.
when you were going shopping, be it in a mall or a store, you didn't really know what you wanted before you walked in the store. Like you kind of said with the mannequins, you didn't walk in there being like, oh, I need a blue shirt and tan pants. And no, you walked in and you see it. Oh, that kind of looks cool. I'm gonna go check out that outfit.
Yeah, back to
Yeah,
school shopping.
yeah.
That's what I went
No,
with
I
my
mean not so
mom
much
and
for me. For me, I need 2 pairs of jeans and a bunch of t-shirts.
yeah, but you went back to school shopping with my mom and we'd walk in the store and I'd look at the wall or I'd look at the mannequins and I'd be like, okay, I like that and I like that, I like that. That's why I hate TJ Maxx. Oops, sorry, I'm not supposed to use names. Um, you can cut that out.
Why we're not
But
getting paid.
the stores that just have like racks of stuff, I don't want to be digging and looking. I need to, yeah. So that's all gone.
Yeah, it wasn't just clothes. I mean,
Right.
you discover things everywhere you went. I mean, you go to the record store and even if you knew what records you wanted, you didn't just go pick up the records you want and then walk out of the store. You sat there and you started flipping through, all the records, or when it came to cassettes, you'd go through all the cassettes, and even a little bit later when it went to the CDs, you'd flag through all the CDs to see if there's anything else you were interested in, or a song you heard that you liked, or
Yeah.
anything that
Or the
could kind of.
bookstore.
All right, you keep you keep dragging the bookstore, and then
Because
you
you
just
go
side,
in and say,
and then
I
you
want to
just
go get
side
the
eyed it.
new. I want to go get the new book. And I'm like, oh, we're going to be there forever. Because you went through all the books, not only the author you liked, but just every book. Yeah.
Yeah, I like books. Sorry, and comic books, and But
But
in any
again, even
case,
books, you're not people are reading
right, exactly. I mean, where's a
they're
bookstore?
reading tablets.
Yep. Which I have reluctantly embraced only because I can fit 30 books. Oh, even more than 30 books, but I can juggle 30 books at a time on my iPad or my phone. Uh, and I've got no room in my house for all those books. It's
Right.
I love physical books. I love having them. I still have a bunch of them. I've given some to my oldest son. But yeah, if I just want to kind of ingest the books, then I have no problem now reading them on a tablet. Or dare I say it, listening to them.
Do you listen to books?
I have, yeah. That's my last resort. Yeah, the last time I quote unquote read Watership Down, I listened to it, which
Mhm.
isn't really that bad because I've read it several times before, so it's kind of my refresher. And I actually last year I did Catcher in the Rye that way. Again, a book I've read. I don't think I've audio booked a book I haven't read already. I
Yeah.
could be wrong, but I can't think of any offhand that I've done that too. But I mean, so let's get back to stores. Let's get back to the topic at hand here. So not only did you have to see things, but you touched things. You actually had physical context. You compared things. You could hold something and say this versus this. I mean, right now online, you got to pull up two screens. It doesn't sound like a big deal. It's really not that big a deal, but it's not the same as having that physical, tangible thing in your hands. You had to talk to somebody that worked there, which again I hated, unless it was a store like where you knew the people. I mean, you go down to Merle's and they'd say, "Hey, how you doing?" Because they knew you.
Right.
Yeah, that was a record store near us, by the way, just so people know. I used to go
But
to the
it did
comic.
away with shoplifting.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's true, and it was just replaced by credit card fraud.
Yeah.
Yay. Um, yeah, I mean, who do you ask now? I mean, so now when you're
You know
shopping,
what you now you buy it, Amazon sends it to you the next day, most of the time, even though you're Prime, how many times have I gotten, "Oh,
right?
you're gonna be a day or 2 late," and we get mad, "What?
Well, yeah,
I'm
well, we
not
get
getting it
mad.
in 12 hours? You mean
Well,
I gotta wait?"
here's the thing: you can't tell me when you're shipping it, guaranteed shipping, guaranteed 2-day shipping, and then like 2 days later, like, oh, we're sorry, it's not going to make it. Where's my guarantee?
Yeah, but
What do I get from the guarantee? You can
right.
shove your head up a bull's ass, and sorry, full Tommy boy.
Right. So you can it's amazing how it works, but we get pissed off when it doesn't.
Yeah,
So
but you could,
but now you buy it and they're you can send it back, or they
yeah, but
just say keep it because the hassle
that's not the bad
of
part.
sending
That's
it back. That's
that's
not the
kind of that's
bad
kind of a
part.
bonus. But y back to who do you ask? Like, if you're in a store and you have questions, you can ask questions.
Right.
If you're online, they have a few, frequently asked questions, but then you've got to go to the reviews. And then you've got people who do what the fat nerd guy did to me, and they're just trolling the reviews. But
Right.
you can tell it hurt my feelings because it's still mad. Where they're just, trolling reviews, or there's these people who don't know really anything about what they're talking about, but they got it and loved it because I don't know,
Right.
because they've never had one before, and it's
Right.
just cool for them to have, or it worked for the small function they needed it for. But you can't ask the question. Look, is this heavy duty? Is this gonna
And you can't
last?
call anybody because no one answers.
Yeah, no one
There's no
answers,
one to call.
and
Amazon's not
yeah, they're not gonna know about that thing you're talking about anyway.
right.
I hate to keep going back to the record store, but that's kind of the most easily accessible example of it, where you'd walk in and the guy behind the counter knew music.
Right.
It's like when you walk into a Guitar Center, typically the guy behind the counter knows guitars, or drums are in the drum department, but they know, and you can ask them cameras. You walk into a camera store, guy knows cameras. Hardware store, there's some guy old enough to be my grandfather, not so much now, uh, named Bill, who
He's
could just
probably
tell
actually
you,
your age now.
yeah, yeah, who could tell you exactly whatever screw you needed. Shut up. Just by looking at the one you have in your hand,
Right.
and could probably fix our marriage too if if I'd asked him to. Sigh. No. uh, but today, I mean, you've got to know. I mean, you've got to know what size screw that is if you're going to get on Amazon and order that screw.
Right.
So now I've got to get on Amazon and I've got to order the little screw sizer, and
Right.
that's how they get you. And then it shows you like 400 of them, and this one's 59 cents, but this one's $4. They look the same, but is this one better? It's $4.
Right.
What if I buy the $2 one? Is that like better than this one, but not as good as this one, but it'll do the job just fine? Or is it the exact same one and this guy's scamming me? You
Yeah, but
know,
they
who
do that in stores too.
not really. You can
Oh, they
pin it
do.
down as to why. But okay, yeah, but the stores. If you buy the same thing at Target that you were going to buy at Walmart, you're going to pay more at Target. But you know that going in. On Amazon, you don't know the vendors. You don't know why they're
Right.
selling it. There's no high-end vendor for screws.
Right.
They're just screwing you.
Right.
But I don't know. It's we keep kind of shitting on Amazon a little bit, and I don't mean to because
No, it's a
ultimately,
wonderful
yeah,
thing. It's a
ultimately
friggin'
we did this.
anyway, anything. No, I'm not shitting on them because anything you need,
Yep.
get on Amazon. Um,
Yeah, we asked for it.
where'd you get that? Amazon.
Yeah.
Where'd and it's amazing. I mean, it's amazing the way it works. They can get me, like you said, that sunshade in 12 hours, but I can't send a card to my friend in Portland, Connecticut, because and it takes anywhere from 3 to 4 days.
Yeah.
Snail mail. So, I mean, it's wonderful. You can get anything at Amazon, pretty much.
Yep. And it's
Um,
convenient. And it's
it's
convenient.
convenient as hell.
Why
You
am I
like
gonna
like you said,
drive?
you're sitting there all of a sudden, you're like, "God, I need this." Doo-doo, and not taking half a
Yeah.
day to go get it.
Yeah. I'm gonna get in my car. I'm gonna drive 20 minutes to a store, try to find parking, walk inside through the freaking pouring rain.
And you're gonna be
Or
yelling at
no,
everyone,
walk inside sunny and then walk outside in the pouring rain with shit in my hands. You
right?
know,
And you're
you
gonna
got
be not yelling at anybody that's driving by you
yeah.
on the highway or in the
All right,
parking
different
lot and all your
episode.
road rage and
Let's
everything
just
else,
call
and
it
you can
why
just
deal with the
sit
crowds.
and it's cheaper.
Yeah, yeah. You're gonna wait in line, and then you go through the whole store. You go through all this BS, and you get in there, and they don't even have it. Or when you're looking for like a
Right.
pair of shoes, like I just need a pair of shoes, and you get there like, oh, these are perfect. Okay, I'll take these in a 12. That'd be great if we had that.
Do you have these in a or Linnea who just bought some PJs for her trip and she gets home and it still had that friggin' emergency tag notifier stealing thing on it, whatever. And
Where'd
she's
she steal them?
packed.
I mean, buy them from.
I don't know. But you're trying to like, yeah, you don't have to deal with that anymore. It just comes to you that way. Because how do you get those suckers off?
Yeah,
I got to
yeah,
go back to the store.
yeah. Like when they don't have my size 12s. Well, we can order them for you. Well,
Okay, when are they going to be in? They'll be in
I'll,
2 weeks.
yeah, I'll tell you what. I'm just gonna go home. I can take care of that part. Thanks.
Right, right. Now, but we couldn't then.
No, no, we didn't have a
Yeah,
choice.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, like you said, now we get them for significantly cheaper, and they'll be here tomorrow. So hell, sometimes it'll be here today. I mean, they've got stuff that I can get here today, which
yeah.
is we actually kind of circle back to what you were saying at the beginning, which is crazy to me.
And we're
That
nowhere near like a distribution
no,
center.
no,
I don't even know where the
no.
closest one is. I think there's one in our state, but I don't know.
I couldn't in traffic today. I couldn't get from here to my son's house in less than probably an hour and a half at this point
Right?
on a Sunday at this time. So you're telling me that I can get online right now and order something, and you're gonna find it, get it to you, pull it, pack it, all the labeling
Wait,
shit you gotta
bullet and packet? What are we talking about?
do. You know what? This is a family-friendly podcast. Keep your smut mind out of it.
Sorry.
Pull it, pack it, get it on a truck, and get that truck. What else is on that truck? There's just it happens to be everything else coming to my house or near my house on that same truck, or is this guy just going everywhere? By 7 o'clock tonight?
Right.
It's crazy to me.
Yeah.
I don't never mind the drones.
You haven't
That's gonna
seen
be
that
weird
yet.
because
That's crazy.
yeah, but someday
They do it
that'll
already,
go
I
full.
think.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to be within a certain distance from the
The
facility,
hub.
the hub, if you will. Um, but yeah, I mean, eventually it's going to be probably everywhere.
Yeah.
And that's crazy. Can you imagine? I mean, I'm in here, I click it on my computer. Yeah, I need this. And then I just walk out my front door. Like I literally just turn around, get out, walk out my front door, and there's coming
Do
out
you
of the
think
sky.
there'll be a competition for Amazon? Do you think somebody else could come up with something? Or do you think
It,
this is it?
I don't know. It's yeah, I mean, it's probably inevitable. I mean, Amazon will just end up buying it.
I
That's
don't
the
know,
thing,
what if Musk
when you have
wants to
that much
come up and
money
do something? And he comes out with, Starlink just coming by and just dropping your shit.
from a satellite,
Yeah.
it'll probably be broken.
Oh.
That's funny, but again, not shitting
I
on them.
love the
It's
convenience. I miss being able to go somewhere
okay.
and
That
hang out.
that actually brings me to a point that I actually physically wrote down. I said, it's kind of like me with bars. Like when we used to go to the bar and you'd have a nice quiet night. We'd go like on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, and it was nice and quiet. And you walk in, and the particular bar that we went to, I really enjoyed. They knew me there. It was kind of our cheers. And I could walk in, sit down in my spot, and it was quiet. And yeah, you talk to somebody a little bit farther down the bar, and you could hear them. And then like you'd go like on a Friday or a Saturday night, and there's a band, which is great. We love music. We love live music, but you're trying to talk to people and you can't hear them, or the place is mobbed because of the band. And I'm like, I just like it better on these quiet nights. So this Amazon thing is the same way. I'd really like to not have to leave my house to go shopping. But when I want to go shopping, I want there to be a fully stocked, fully staffed mall waiting for me. And the two are kind of mutually exclusive, same as the bar. I
Yeah.
can't have a nice quiet bar where, I'm one of the only ones there and it's nice and quiet, because they're not going to make any money, not going to stay in business. And it's the same thing with the
Yeah.
malls
Yeah.
and the Amazon. We as people, I think, are very much the same that way, where we want what we want, and right now. But what if I want the mall later? Is it still going to be here? Well, the answer is no. I
Right.
mean, it's not just malls. Look at that. Look at that beautiful outlet center up by us. That place was awesome. Had like a nice outside courtyard. Uh, it had food. I mean, just like a huge complex, different buildings, so it didn't look like a mall. Um, the movie theater right next to it, and it's empty.
A ghost town.
Yeah, they're gonna tear it down and put in apartments or something,
Yeah.
which is heartbreaking. I mean, there used to be a bookstore in there. Yeah,
The
it's
toy stores.
yeah. Yeah, and I guess convenience has a price, and the price is not just shipping. It's go drive past a mall.
We did.
Oh my god, that was scary. That was some Walking Dead shit.
Yeah.
When we went to that mall, you pull in the parking lot, and this
Well, no,
was
first it was a huge mall.
yeah, I was just gonna say this
Very
was
yeah.
this was one of Connecticut's premier malls.
Right.
I would say probably this and Danbury are probably the two big ones,
Yeah.
right? Crystal Mall, I'm gonna say Crystal Mall, and we drive in, and first of all, the parking lot looks like my driveway. It's cracked, and there's grass like just growing up, but not really like my
But
driveway.
not
My
just
driveway
little
has
gra
a little bit, but I mean, you're talking. I mean, just
there's like
tall grass,
3-foot
and there's
strands of
yeah,
yeah.
and a foot wide in some places of these cracks, and it's just this growth coming through. It's just been let
It was
let go, and it was like
it was
it was
scary,
just
eerie.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we felt like we're like Walking
And
Dead.
they were open. This is when they were open. So I don't know how many stores were still left inside. Like we were talking about earlier this afternoon. I don't think we went into that one. I think we went into the other mall
Yeah.
later on. But it was very, very eerie. It literally looked abandoned,
Kinda
even
scary,
though they
yeah.
were still open. Uh, you know, and now actually they've been bought out and renovated, but they went through a point where they were boarded up, and I think it starts when the anchor stores go, and tougher for the smaller stores to hold on after that.
Yeah.
We went to Milford probably a few months ago, and the downstairs is virtually empty,
Was
right? They
empty
didn't.
except like half of it was a gym.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
They made it, which
Yeah.
at least they're using it for something rather than
Yeah.
having these big buildings just to be nothing. Maybe that people should come in and buy them and make offices or something with them.
Well, here's part of
Um,
the problem though too is, and this can be said about a lot of real estate, is the greed that takes place at some point where these
right.
buildings sit,
For
but these
years.
people, they want their rent. They want what they want for that rent, and you cannot go in there and offer them any less. They would rather collect the tax benefits,
Yeah,
the write-offs than rent them out for a penny less than they think they should be getting for it,
right.
which is ridiculous to me. But thank God for the Halloween pop-up stores and the fireworks pop-up stores that
That's right.
kept some of those places full when they started going empty, at least, for a couple days a year.
Well, what I'm curious is this just in our state? And this is a general question unless you did some research or whatever, but looking for people to respond. Is it
No.
like that in other states? I mean, we're in the Northeast.
Yeah, that's great for the
Very
comments. Let us know. Is the Mall of America like this?
right. Is the Mall of America or like in the other states, is it destined to like ours is? I don't know.
Yeah, you walk through
I
these
don't know.
enormous buildings that were designed to hold thousands of people, and there used to be. I mean, you'd walk by and literally, bumping elbows with people, rubbing shoulders the entire way down the walkway. And now you're lucky if there's 27 people walking through the entire mall.
Right.
And
No more going to bring your kids to see Santa,
right,
you know? But then again,
yeah.
no more worrying about your kids getting stolen because they're in your house while you're on
Or
shopping with
hoping.
theirs. So, has its benefits, I guess.
Yeah, I guess everything's got its benefits, but I do miss those. It would have been nice to be able to go to the mall. Like,
Or Mercado.
all right, enough with Mercado. Yeah. Well, here's what I don't understand. I don't understand. So, like, if you would think that if one thing was still in business in these malls, it would be like the arcade, somewhere for kids to go to hang out, spend some money. Kids will pop money in those machines like it's going out of style.
Yep.
So all that's closed, but somehow the pretzel place is still going. You can still get a pretzel. They can still pay their rent
Yeah,
because I guess that stands to reason. You can get games online. You cannot get a pretzel online. You cannot
that's
have a
right.
warm pretzel delivered to your house online yet.
Although you can get
Well, you
food
can, you
delivered.
can, but but it's like DoorDash, and
Yeah.
A, it'll be cold by the time you get here, and B, it's going to cost you $20 extra. Yeah, I don't know. So it's so much bigger than just the retail. Like we were talking about earlier, when all those stores or the malls, the outlet centers, or these shopping hubs disappear, we're not just losing these stores, we're losing the places where people go to interact. And
Yeah.
especially now, people aren't doing that as much anymore. All their interaction is I don't even know where mine is. That's how I enjoy it. All their interaction is this. Quite frankly, who am I to judge that either? Because we're partaking and participating and encouraging that to some degree by doing this. But I don't know. Just think about how many fewer human interactive experiences you're going to have without a place like this to go.
And that's sad
You
to
know,
me. I love being around people and socializing and talking and
we love people
just
watching. I hate. I can't
just
stand people.
being. I know you don't like people, but I
Uh,
just I like it.
he
And
called me a fat nerd. Okay, he called me a fat
let
nerd.
it
Why do you think
go.
I don't like people? People are mean.
He's probably a fatter nerd.
People,
Okay.
people are mean,
So,
and you know what makes me angry is the fact that, like, uh,
you don't know
I
me.
I can fight. I like to fight, but I can't. But you're not allowed to fight. Like, I'm not allowed to punch that guy in the nose for calling me a fat nerd. But if I could, there'd be 5 other people who wouldn't call somebody a fat nerd because that's what would happen if you did.
Right.
You know? And I guess that's why there were fights in malls. and,
Right.
and,
I know,
and
you
the
were
and
saying kids
yeah,
weren't punks. I'm like, do you not remember the fights that used to happen at the
yeah,
malls
but it
and
wasn't
the
but that
meeting
but
point
that
and the
wasn't the norm, and that was also a
right,
little bit later on.
right,
I mean, that definitely wasn't the norm. People were
right.
were generally well behaved. Um, so I guess maybe doing it the way we're doing it now is better because that guy just got deleted, whereas if it had happened in the mall, he would have got punched in the nose.
That's
But
Well, I guess in some ways that's better then, because you wouldn't be in jail, or you're not in jail. You can just hit
Yes,
the delete button.
I guess.
But yeah, I miss talking to people, and
I
yeah, it gets less
I
and less. I know you get mad, like, when we go to the movies and anybody else shows up, you get mad because there's someone.
I don't get mad. I don't get mad. I get mad when we're
Mm,
sitting in the back in our spot and we get there early to do that. The entire rest of the theater is empty and they take the 2 seats directly in front of us. That drives me up a wall. There's a thing
'cause this
about
is a
personal space and your respect for personal space, and equally as bad as that is when they come in and they sit in the same row as you 2 seats down. Every other seat in this place is open and there no, this no. There's
Yeah, because this is
no.
the last movie
Just no.
theater that you don't pre-buy your seats. So, even
Yeah.
there, technology, you get your seats so that you don't have to sit and run to there and run there and stand in line for a movie theater.
So we were talking a little bit earlier about how online shopping is good when you know exactly what you want. But if you're not sure what you want or you want to compare things, the best Amazon can give you is people who bought this also bought this,
Yeah.
and they're hardly ever related in any other way. And sometimes it's the exact same thing. The people who bought this camera also bought this camera. Well, why would they do that? First of all, but that's not. I mean, that's math. That's just an algorithm telling you things, which I guess in some ways the same thing that's happening in your brain when you're doing it. But and not only that, it's also targeted marketing. You know, your freedom of choice isn't all you think it is either when you're only being presented certain things. Whereas if you walk into a store, you're being presented certain things, but your options are open. You know what I mean? You
Right.
go into a store and you look at this wall of clothes. You get on Amazon, it's like people who bought this also bought this, and they've got 2 pairs of pants in front of you. You know, versus
Right.
going to the store and shapes, sizes, styles, colors, whatever.
Yeah, or how annoying is it when you click on something, you need tan pants, and you gotta scroll through hundreds of tan pants to find one that may be the look
Right.
you have or something,
And
yeah.
oftentimes it's the same pair of pants from different vendors.
Right.
And you're like, I don't want that. I don't want that. I want
Right,
different tan pants.
right.
Yeah, and some of the fun was tracking down what you wanted. Finding that store that had that one thing you were looking for, so you'd be like, "That's the one." You know.
I can remember, geez, you just brought me when I was, preteen, probably 10s, 12-ish age, I went to Maine with my mom. Did I go to Maine or did I see somewhere else? Somewhere I saw a pair, don't laugh, of gray and pink saddle shoes that I wanted.
You can't say gray and pink saddle shoes that I wanted and say don't laugh in the same like phrase. G-
And we looked,
Gray and pink saddle shoes.
yeah, it was for a certain outfit.
Oh,
I
I
had a
don't even want to know what the outfit was. That's got to be a hell of an outfit.
I had a gray and pink poodle skirt.
Oh
It
Jesus.
was for like an event that was happening or whatever.
Was
And
that
we
event a
looked
Halloween party? Because if not, there's no reason to have any of those things.
I think it might have been for like a 50s dance or something.
Were you going to bow wall wall tonight?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And we went to every single store looking, and we drove everywhere. My mom called her sister, that's what it was. She called her sister in Maine and had her looking at stores. Or it was also the shoes, and there was also, remember the swatches?
Oh yeah.
And there was a big fat on swatches and a big run, and you had to go, try to find them. And there was a particular one with Paisleys that I wanted, and we couldn't find it anywhere. My mom calls her sister in Maine and has her go looking and all that, that hunt, or the hunt for the Tickle Me Elmo that you had to drive all over
Yeah.
and try to be at the store, jingle all the way. You had to get, Turbo Man and run there. That's all gone. It's not
Yeah.
anymore. It's just
That
whatever.
actually leads me into early segue into my next thought. But one of the things I was going to say is when you're in a store and it could be any time of the year, it could be midsummer, and then you see something and especially once the kids are born, you're like, oh my God, Christian would love that. And you buy him a Christmas present, like, because you happen to be walking by something cool. So I guess which brings us to Christmas shopping. Remember Christmas shopping when we used to get up and do
Well,
it?
yeah.
Yeah.
Remember the day after Thanksgiving, Black Friday,
Yep.
and you'd get out to the store and you'd wait in line at 4 o'clock in the morning for the store to open. And we would go not even because we were buying anything, because usually we couldn't. It was just
Well,
for the experience of
well,
being
because we never had a ton of money. We would always shop
right.
early and, get a couple of things here and there. So we were always, except for maybe a couple of bigger presents for the kids, we were always pretty much done early.
Yeah, so we were always done pretty early and everything, but we went out for the experience of that
People watching.
chaos and the running through Walmart and trying to like get the TV before they're all gone or whatever the item was. It was fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Didn't last very long. We only did it for a few years before they started opening on,
Well,
you
now
know,
they're open all the time. They
Thanksgiving
suck.
night and then Thanksgiving morning and then, got days earlier. And now, I mean, it's literally you get the warning from Amazon, be like, only 7 more days to get your items in time. Like, oh shit, click, 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 click.
Right. And then you'd order it and it comes a week after Christmas.
Yeah. And let's take it back to malls. That was an awesome time to go to the mall. Christmas music playing, uh,
Yeah. So I
decorations
said,
everywhere. Like you said,
Anna,
kids sitting on Santa's lap. Uh, and people carrying multiple bags everywhere. Parking lots full. You can't get parking. You're standing in ridiculous lines for everything. But there was just something about that experience in a mall that was very cool. Even though I complained the
at the
entire time.
time it wasn't.
No,
That's right. At the
no,
time it was
memories.
frustrating
Yeah,
and
stressful but looking back on the memories, and that's not entirely true that at the time it was all that.
no, but there was
Getting there was
aggravations
fun.
and stuff and
Yeah, yeah. Getting to the stores was fine, but being in the stores, you're just like, I need to get away from these people. Yeah, there's nowhere to park. Place is packed. Line's ridiculous. Why do we even come here?
right.
Yeah, now
But I miss it.
you go to the same place even during the holidays, and you've got 900 empty spaces, and not just the handicap ones.
Yeah. Not even that. More people are just like, yeah, I just order,
Yeah,
you know. Yeah, I got all my Christmas shopping done last night, and it almost seems less personal to me too, to just order online.
well,
Because you're not
that,
out looking for I don't know. I mean,
that's
I
almost
don't
a
know.
whole nother topic because I think Christmas itself has become less personal. Um, I don't think it's less personal in that aspect. I mean, you're you're buying the same thing you would buy them at a store. You just don't have to go find it.
But
I
when I
don't think.
was walking around, I would get ideas. I'd be like, "Oh, they would like that."
Yeah,
Where now it's like, "Here's my list. Get well, not even we get lists or whatever, but here is some of the things I want to look. I just go online and get." But when you're walking around and the experience, and you're like, and you find things that are, wow, they would really like this, and some, you know what I mean, rather than just getting
and that's how
what's
our kids end up with a bunch of shit they don't use.
yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, it turns out we didn't want the crowds gone. We just wanted them to be like slightly less annoying, or like a whole lot less annoying. But yeah, we'll be lucky if we don't do this to everything in our lives. I mean, we've kind of already started doing it with food and groceries.
I
Definitely with
think this,
movies.
yeah, Disney had it right. We're gonna be Wall-E. We're just gonna be big
Yeah.
loaves in a chair.
Hey, you don't even have to like.
You don't have to leave your house for food,
It's bad.
for
Yeah, it's bad enough
anything,
we don't have to hunt for our food anymore. We don't have to cook it or go get it.
right?
Yeah, everything's delivered. Food's delivered. Groceries delivered. You can work from home. Texting instead of phone calls, which I am fully on board with.
I was gonna
But
say you're
movies. I credit a lot of this to COVID, but I think it would have been inevitable anyway. I think COVID just kind of sped it along,
Yeah.
but the whole streaming thing where people just don't go to the movies anymore. I mean, I don't know how movies stay in business.
Yeah, that experience, yeah.
I mean, I
That's
guess
why
enough
we
people are
still
going.
go
They're
once
they're
a
still
week.
yeah, they're still making record numbers. Yeah, we go. I'm a cinema guy. I love movies.
Yeah,
Always have. So
yeah.
theater near us does $5 Tuesdays, so that's our date night. And we kind of made a pact that even if there's something we don't want to see, we will go to the movies on Tuesday night because it's a nice little inexpensive date night, and you know, we're out being cultured instead of sitting home on our couches.
And it's not like couch seating either. It's old
No,
school.
we're almost roughing it. We're almost roughing.
We're really roughing
They're
it. They
not
don't
plastic seats, but they might as well be because the
but
cushions are gone.
they don't lean back or it's
No,
just,
no.
but it's cool.
Yeah,
Even when people sit near us.
yeah. How long do you think until uh, everything else goes the way of the mall?
Like what?
You know, because I mean, we're I think inevitably destined for almost no stores. Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
talking in the next 10 years, but I mean,
I don't know.
it's coming.
I'm hoping that maybe that'll happen and then it'll come back around. Kind of like fashion, like something that was really worn and it gets worn out and all of a sudden it comes back and you're like, "Oh, look, this is back." Kind of hoping that'll happen because people will be like, "I don't want to just sit in my house." I don't know.
I don't think so. You know what I think is kind of making a small comeback though is the mom and pop store.
Right, that's what I'm
A
saying.
lot of smaller retail is still holding up for some reason. Um, you know, you've got I thought for sure with Home Depots and Lowe's everywhere, like these smaller hardware stores would be out of business,
Right.
but they're not, and they do well. And you know, they're more expensive, but yeah, let me tell you something. It's really convenient for me to drive 5 minutes down the road to the hardware store and get what I need.
And paying 3 times
Then,
what Amazon would, but
well, no, if I need it now, like when I was building stuff and I needed a box of screws, I mean, sure, I
right,
would have saved $3 by going to Home Depot, but I would have spent that much in gas and the
right.
aggravation of the traffic, and you know, I could drive 5 minutes down the road and get it.
Oh, you're going. Oh, sorry,
I
that's the
got you.
one for
I
me.
got you. You son of a bitch. Ugh. We talked about it on another episode. I'm an empathetic yawner. Yeah, but you know, I guess if you take them on their own individually, all of these things make sense. Like who the hell wants to get up? Like we've argued about it several times. Like I don't want to cook tonight. What do you want? I don't know. I mean, I don't really want pizza. And well, where are we going to get it from? Oh, I don't know, but I don't want to have to go get it. So I got to find someplace with delivery, or you got to pay an extra $30, you know, for your dinner through DoorDash. But the convenience of it, I understand. You know, the
Yeah,
convenience of having your groceries delivered. Wait, I can just you're just gonna bring them here?
right.
Do you, do you put them away for me too? You know, streaming movies. Yeah, it's great. Again, it's another thing where like, yeah, when I want it here, it's great to have it here. But don't close that effing movie theater just because I'm not going. You know, when you're doing everything individually in the moment, you're eliminating inconvenience,
Right.
you know, but the problem is, and the part that I don't think we anticipated when we started all this is that while we thought we were eliminating inconvenience, we're really eliminating interaction and fun in a lot of ways. You know, we're eliminating these places to go. You know, we are opening up a lot of real estate for medical offices, though, because that's what we need. You
No,
know,
because they just build new buildings, they don't use the old ones.
that's true
Um,
too. You know,
but I
the
think
one country that can't get their health care together, we got more friggin' medical facilities than anything else.
I'm sad in the fact that all this stuff is going away because, um, we always comment how kids can't interact because their face has been on their phone or on their phone again, not calling, or they did school through a computer, so they haven't learned that socialization. So I think with the malls leaving and the stores leaving, everybody just sitting in their house, that socialization is gonna affect us in the long that
Yeah.
or
Well,
anti-socialization is really gonna have a bad effect in the long run from us all just sitting in our house.
yeah, well, like COVID did to the kids in school at the
That's what
time.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
But now this is, like, long term, I think it's not great.
We got to remember too, though, that this kind of nostalgic feeling that we have over the malls, you actually kind of touched on a little bit earlier. Nostalgia lies, nostalgic feelings.
Yeah.
They're liars. Uh, it 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 edits what you remember. Because
True.
we remember walking to the mall with our friends or each other, or in some cases, families. But what we forget about is when you don't really want to be at the mall, but that's where you end up and you spend 45 minutes looking for jeans that fit you right, and now
Right.
you're irritated. We remember Christmas decorations, but we forget circling the parking lot for 4 hours looking for a parking space and contemplating vehicular homicide just to get a space, a half a block away from the mall.
Right.
you know,
Right.
we remember record stores, but we forget, having to drive to 4 different ones because they didn't have the one we wanted. Uh, uh, Online, it's got everything.
Right.
It's I guess the title of this episode is definitely not going to be Amazon ruined America,
Oh, no.
because I'm a firm supporter.
No, it's
For
wonderful.
better,
I
for
yeah.
better or for worse. I just we chose and continue to choose convenience because convenience is, well, it's convenient, but it's also great. I just think we didn't realize the consequences of it. I don't think anybody ever thought when this happened that, so someday the malls are going to be gone.
Wait, are convenience stores not convenience stores anymore?
No, they're not. Convenience stores
Okay.
have not been convenience stores in a long, long time. Convenience stores used to be open 24 hours and they would have
Right.
just about everything you needed. Even if it was $7 for like that tiny jar of peanut butter.
Right.
But now, I mean, no, I think there's probably very few that are open 24 hours. But yeah, I don't know. And like you asked, maybe they'll come back, maybe they'll recycle and come back around. But I think I think probably that's come and gone. I think
The
that
ship has sailed.
that version, yeah, that version of this timeline is gone.
That's
Um,
sad. The Jetsons even zoomed
it is
into
sad.
shopping centers.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they didn't see this coming, did they?
Right. No. So they had flying cars, but they could go to different stores. There could be maybe there'll be a Mall of Space instead of Mall of America.
Well, or just maybe a mall of different things. Like these malls don't have to go out of business. They've just got to appeal to a different clientele. Like you said with the gyms, there's something in there. Gyms, entertainment facilities. What about bars in these? I mean, you could make these malls into an experience. Like we went to the beach in West Haven the other day to see Doug's band play, and that facility was awesome. And we were talking to a friend of ours, and they could make that whole strip this kind of really nice, clubby scene. You could put stores on the shoreline. You could put, more bars, more restaurants, and kind of have this almost a boardwalky feel to it. And you can do the same thing in a mall. You could have entertainment place. You can have an arcade. You can have, restaurants, full restaurants, not just a food court in these places. Uh, Maybe an occasional medical office here and there. Who knows? But there's a lot of things you can still put in these places and make them, feasible money makers for the owners and money makers for the other people too. I mean, why? You see in all these movies uh, in the future where they don't build out, they build up. This is one way of taking all these things that are in a strip along a main route and putting them in one building, and again, making that building an experience. Who knows?
Yeah.
We don't need more buildings selling, with 106 stores selling stuff. I will tell you, it's always cool walking into a Spencer's, even now at 56 years old, and seeing like the sex toys and stuff, like just right there, right
It's
there.
always makes you
Kids,
laugh.
kids shop in this mall, and every time you walk by them, you're like, It's like when somebody says 69, you're like 69. I don't know why it gets me every time. Yeah, you walk in, I'm like, there's there's a 9-year-old over there buying earrings. They're nipple rings, but they think they're earrings. So, oh God, yeah, we just need places that I think give us a reason to be somewhere, and I don't think we have those anymore. Just to walk around, to eat, to talk, to bump into people, to experience being out, but not just I don't know, not just nowhere. There has to be like a destination. It's I don't think they're gonna come back around. So maybe the future of a mall isn't shopping, but there's no reason that it can't be something,
Yeah.
you know? I don't know. I don't think I miss malls so much because I desperately need another, I don't know, pair of pants. I can get
Right.
pants. They'll be here tomorrow.
What's this?
They probably won't fit me, or they'll be the wrong color, and we'll have to go to a store, by the way, to return them to Amazon. But they'll send me
Right.
another pair the next day, no problem. You know,
It's the same thing for me as the casinos. I like to go. I don't gamble. I don't like to gamble, but I love being there because I love being around people and just hearing and
other people win.
interacting and just hearing life and
Yeah,
seeing life. And we don't have that just sitting in our house.
yeah. Walking around for completely no reason, but walking around somewhere. You're not just. I like to walk outside or the hike in the woods as much as anybody else, but there's something about walking around somewhere
Right.
that's cool. And we've kind of made this weird trade, um, which I mean, like again, I don't frown on. Yeah, I miss it, but I don't frown on it. You know, malls are dying, outlet centers are dying, shopping centers in general are dying, strip malls are dying. Uh, so I guess a better question than when will we lose them all or will we lose them all? What happens when we no longer need to leave home?
And that's the
You
next
know?
topic.
Yep. There's Wally. Wally. Just sitting there waiting for our food to arrive. I don't know. So after this, you gonna stop ordering from Amazon now?
No, hell no.
No. Okay.
I told you, love Amazon. It's convenient. It's quick. I just
Yep.
miss.
Love Amazon. Looking for sponsors. We can get you 3 or 4 more people. Yeah. All right. Well, in the meantime, if you have a mall near you, go to it, visit it, because it probably is not going to be there for long. But
And
let us
please
know.
let us know.
Yeah, let us know.
Yeah.
We're very curious as to what things are like elsewhere. Is it just us over here, or is everywhere kind of turning into little ghost towns? I'm telling you, it was eerie. That
No,
Crystal Mall was eerie. It was
yeah.
scary.
Yeah.
Yep. Almost like those liminal spaces you hear about. But anyway, please continue to like, listen, follow. We are available full episodes on YouTube and Spotify. And please listen to the full episodes. Please, please, please do not comment stupid shit on the clips like you know what we're talking about and have me have to tell you, well, if you listen to the whole episode, we address that. So before you come at me hard,
Wait, what?
listen to the full episode. Oh my God.
Well, you're saying it.
We're for
You're
an older
leaving it.
crowd, but we're still trying to maintain some sense of decorum. God. Like, listen, follow Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts. Comment, reach out. Again, let us know what you guys are thinking. Any ideas for topics? Let us know. We're anxious to hear them. We're looking for ways to continue to move forward as the Forward Project. Not that we don't have a bunch of stuff we're planning on talking about, but we can always use more. And we want to know what you guys want to hear. So let us know. Hit us up on our socials. Appreciate it, guys.
Bye.
This is the Forward Project.